Most people think old cars were primitive, but they don't realize they had something modern cars lost. And once you feel it, you can't forget it. When we speak of the 1965 Rolls-Royce Silver Shadow, we aren't talking about a car in the conventional sense. We are talking about a cathedral of steel and walnut, a monument to a time when luxury wasn't defined by how many pixels were on a screen, but by the thickness of the lamb's wool under your feet and the absolute eerie absence of the outside world. In the mid-60s, the Silver Shadow was a radical departure for crew. It was the first Rolls-Royce to use a monocoque chassis, a move that purists at the time feared would strip the brand of its majestic carriage-like isolation. They were wrong. What emerged was a machine that didn't just drive over the road. It seemed to hover slightly above it, disconnected from the mundane reality of potholes and expansion joints. It utilized a complex, high-pressure hydraulic system licensed from Citroën, a mechanical nervous system that hummed quietly behind the scenes to ensure the nose never dived and the tail never sagged. It was a car that demanded its own level of mechanical empathy, not because it was temperamental, but because it was sophisticated in a way that felt almost biological. To sit in the driver's seat of a Shadow is to realize that modern luxury is often just a loud imitation of true elegance. There is no plastic here. Every surface your hand touches is either cold to the touch because it is chrome-plated brass, or warm because it is Connolly leather or burr walnut. There is a specific mechanical resistance to the switches, a heavy dampened thunk that suggests they were designed to last several lifetimes. The steering wheel is impossibly thin, a delicate hoop that you guide with 2 fingers, communicating with a front end that feels like it's navigating a calm sea rather than a paved street. The engine, a 6 3/4-liter V8, was famously described by the factory as having adequate power. It wasn't built for speed, it was built for inevitability. It moves the 2-ton mass of the Shadow with a silent, relentless surge, like the tide coming in. You don't hear the combustion, you simply feel the world begin to move backward outside your window. There is an incredible, haunting stillness inside the cabin. At 60 miles per hour, the loudest sound is often the ticking of the electric clock, a legendary claim that, in a well-maintained Shadow, remains a startling reality. It is a sensory deprivation tank on wheels. As we move through these quiet corridors of automotive history, it's easy to see why these machines still hold a grip on our collective memory. They represent a peak of human craftsmanship that didn't rely on software to create an experience. If you find peace in these reflections on mechanical grace, perhaps you'll consider subscribing or liking this video. It's a small gesture that helps us keep these stories from fading into the silence of the past. But the Silver Shadow was not perfect. And that is where its true character hides. The complexity of its hydraulic systems meant that it required a caretaker, not just an owner. It is a car that knows when it is being neglected. It has a personality that is dignified but demanding. If you treat it with the respect its engineering deserves, it rewards you with a ride quality that arguably hasn't been topped by the air suspension systems of today. But if you ignore its needs, it will slowly, gracefully break your heart. It's a machine that insists on a relationship. There is a philosophical weight to driving a Shadow today. In 1965, this car was a symbol of the establishment, of unwavering British stoicism. Today it feels like a rebel. In a world of aggressive angles, carbon fiber, and simulated engine noises piped through speakers, the Shadow stands as a silent protest. It doesn't care about your lap times or your 0 to 60 stats. It cares about how you feel when you arrive. It understands that the greatest luxury isn't going fast. It's the feeling of time slowing down. When you look at the spirit of ecstasy leading the way down a rain-slicked boulevard, you realize that the Silver Shadow was the last of a breed. It was built at the intersection of old-world craftsmanship and space-age engineering. It was a car designed for people who had already arrived and therefore felt no need to hurry. It captured a specific kind of quiet confidence that seems to have vanished from the modern landscape. It wasn't trying to be sporty or dynamic. It knew exactly what it was. I wonder, is there a car in your life that changed the way you perceive the world outside your windshield? A car that made you realize that the journey isn't just a distance between 2 points, but a state of mind. Perhaps it wasn't a Rolls-Royce, but something humble that somehow managed to make the world feel quiet for a moment. The Silver Shadow remains a ghost in our modern machine age. It is a reminder that we once built things to be silent, to be soft, and to be permanent. It is a machine that doesn't just transport your body, it settles your soul. And as we turn the key and hear that V8 whisper to life one more time, we realize that some things don't get better with time. They just become more precious because we stopped making them that way.